Okay, so I'm going to give you a method that I completely stumbled upon without even trying, but this method will allow you to get or manifest pretty much anything you desire with the least amount of effort possible. Minimum input for maximum results. This is hacking or using the laws of physics. Honestly, it's a part of nature. We just need to align with the principles that nature uses, align with the laws of physics, the laws of quantum physics, the laws of the universe, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to talk about how to amplify energy. We're going to talk about alignment, magnetism, coherence, using all these terms to essentially attract anything you desire. And honestly, I think we're getting into free energy here is what we're ultimately getting into. And it was the most stupid thing, honestly, that I was doing where I got this realization. I was in my living room like 2 weekends ago, and I was just shooting on my Nerf basketball hoop, okay? And for some reason, I just started thinking about why do sometimes my shot feels effortless and I swish it? And you know I had to put my man Steph Curry in here, the greatest shooter of all time. Look at that jump shot form. If you know anything about the jump shot, all the power is generated from your base, or basically it comes from your feet and it's transferred the whole way through the shot. Now, if you have any energy leaks going up your body as you release the ball, your shot is not going to be as efficient. If you have any tension, like you have to be essentially relaxed so that the power generated from your feet, generated from your jump, goes the whole way up. When everything is aligned, even just a little force from your jump or energy from your jump gets transferred and used to shoot the ball towards the basket. The systems of reactions, or the chain reaction in your body after you have generated the energy from your base, the systems are coherent. There is no leaking of energy. Everything is aligned so your shot is the most efficient. So then I was like, okay, this is one secret of energy, and this is how I can get huge results using the least amount of effort, having an efficient system, right? If we put our desire or our intention out there, and it's not put through a system that is aligned, then it's not going to come into reality. But then I was like, well, sometimes I go on these hot streaks where I'll make like 5 or 6 in a row and it will just feel effortless. It'll be like boom, swish, boom, swish. My mechanics are efficient. There's no energy leaks in my system, and I'm not thinking about it. It just feels natural. That is the definition of full alignment, and my energy can truly be transferred through the path of least resistance. My shot is following the easiest, most natural path to the hoop, right? I did a little more research and I realized that there's something called the principle of least action, and that nature goes on its own hot streaks. That's why it's naturally abundant. Energy is generated with the least amount of effort to get maximum results everywhere in the universe. You can also refer to it, I'm sure you've heard the law of least effort. The key here is not force. So we're not going to be manifesting our desires with extra force. The key here is the alignment, the efficient transfer of energy, the efficient setting of our intentions and releasing them to the universe, right? Nature is always seeking balance. So if things are fully aligned, only a little more energy creates even bigger results. It's like the energy in an efficient system, it compounds on each other. Chain reaction. And even further, when we are in alignment, what happens is that the system starts to be in resonance. And resonance is the key that compounds energy or creates effortless energy, or creates a compounding of energy with no extra effort. When things are synchronized, the energy has no resistance. The energy doesn't get lost fighting itself. Instead, what happens is amplification. Now, if we talk about structures in the universe that amplify energy, you're going to come across the vortex. I was just looking at Hurricane Aaron. What does the hurricane look like? It's rotating around the center, and near the center, it's gaining more energy. A vortex is a self reinforcing flow. That's the key. where motion creates a structure that channels energy efficiently toward the center. The vortex is nature's ultimate energy amplifier. And you can see that spiral structure. It's seen so many places throughout the universe. The point here is that down at the bottom, when energy is directed into a perfectly aligned system, it doesn't just add to it, rather, it amplifies it, it multiplies it. So when it comes to our intention, we need to take advantage of these laws. But first, we need to talk about the power of our attention, because wherever we put our attention, wherever we put our focus, just like we talked about in, I don't know if it was the last video, but I think it was one of the energy videos. Our focus can literally manipulate reality. And so the more we put our focus in a certain direction, towards a certain intention, we start to create a vortex surrounding it. It creates a vortex towards whatever you are thinking about. And if we're aligning our intentions and our actions and our focus so that our energy is efficiently spiraling towards a goal, and we just make small, consistent effort, small, consistent action, right? The law of least action. And we align our lives in the direction that we want to go, our efforts are going to start compounding naturally. And so that little consistent action is going to add up to disproportionate, very large outcomes. And you're going to start to create your own hot streak where you basically can't lose. All that momentum has built up. And so what are we putting our attention on? Is our attention being hijacked by stupid distractions, or are we constantly steering it towards our goals? And of course, we have to get clear on what our intention is. A powerful intention will create a very strong ripple effect. And setting our intention, if we want to take it back to the jump shot analogy, that's like generating energy from our jump through our body and then aiming it, right? We have an aim towards the basket. Now, what do you do after you aim the basketball? You release it, okay? In the same way, we have to release our intention. This is where magnetism starts to come into play. When I got on those hot streaks and I wasn't even thinking about making it, I was not questioning it at all. A great jump shot involves trust in your practice rhythm and release of the tension at the right moment so that you're not overthinking it. Just like when you surrender control and trust the natural flow of life or the universe, and you move with less resistance, you're not fighting against reality, you're flowing with it. And it allows your energy to shoot efficiently without forcing it where it's meant to go. So if you give up your attachment to your desire happening, you become magnetic and you start to attract the reality that you want instead of repel it. There was a quote I love from Alan Watts, and it goes something like, when you let go of control, you get the kind of control that you want. Relinquish power. Let go of trying to have power over life. When you let go and you enter the flow state and you stay present, you become one with life. No longer are you divided from reality. You become everything and you are truly connected to everything. Relaxation allows you to become one with everything. That's the most abundant and authentic version of ourselves. That's the most carefree and worry-free version of ourselves. And we take action when the time feels right. We don't force action. When it aligns with our timing, our skills, our environment, things feel effortless and success accelerates, it compounds. And not being so attached to our desire being fulfilled, but being content and fulfilled with where we are at right now, what we have right now, it opens us up to receiving more. You gotta let your intentions and desires go to magnetize them. The goal here is really to create coherence. Create a coherent and aligned life. If one part of our lives are out of balance or out of sync, it affects the whole system, and the energy that we're putting in is not going to be used most efficiently. In wave physics, when two or more waves align perfectly, just like you see with the coherent waves there, their amplitudes add together, meaning that the total energy is magnified without adding more effort. This is why if you look at the ocean, sometimes two waves end up combining and it makes a bigger wave, right? And the power of synergy. It's like when you get two or more people together, if you get a team together and they're all working in tandem, you can achieve a lot more than you could with just one person. If all areas of your life are synergized, That's when you start to take advantage of effortless propulsion, right? 0 point energy. All these words like synergy, coherence, balance, alignment. That is the secret. It really is. And we talked about in the energy video, the observer effect. Again, the power of our focus and our attention. When we are not paying attention to something, it becomes a wave. When we all of a sudden fix our attention on something, it collapses into a particle or a fixed point. It's like if you're paying too much attention to your desires, they become a little too fixed. Watching a pot, but it doesn't boil. All of a sudden, you look away and it boils. You're not giving your intention the breathing room, and you're not giving nature the room to fulfill it in the most effortless way and most natural way possible. But let's say you enter the flow state and you become reality, right? You become literally part of the wave. The characteristics of a wave in physics is where infinite possibilities exist. You can't really predict where the particle is going to be. You observe it, it's fixed. When you're not observing it, infinite possibilities can occur. And so, this is why when you're forcing your goal to be fulfilled in a certain way, you close yourself off. You're not open to all opportunities, all possibilities. You're just fixed on one. Let it go, enter the flow state, be present, be in the now, become part of the wave, and all things are possible. All right, so I'm going to go over what this looks like in real life and how you can create your own hot streak towards anything that you want. So, first, obviously, you got to set an intention, set a target, and then you have to arrange your environment, arrange your life in alignment so it amplifies your intention. Cut stupid distractions, cut anything that is taking your focus away from your intention, and then see how you can design other areas of your life to create synergies so that those feed off of each other. Point is to make it easy for energy to move in one direction without being scattered, without leaking. Next, start to build coherence daily. When you wake up, put conscious effort into syncing yourself. So enter the meditative state, enter the flow state. This is going to sync up our brain and our heart. When you enter the meditative state, visualize not necessarily your desire, your intention being fulfilled, but visualize yourself taking action towards that. I feel like that's helped to motivate me to take more action, and it helps to break down my goal into what exactly I need to do to accomplish it. But then I want you to feel as if your intention has already manifested. Feel like it's already happened. What kind of person would you have to become? Visualize yourself and feel yourself as that person. And this is going to prime yourself, prime your nervous system to fire in the same way every day and basically allow it to become on autopilot. And then just start to rack up small wins. Start to take little action. This is going to start to create now a vortex around your intention or a feedback loop. Each little action, each little success puts you more into a rhythm. And you're going to start to get more momentum, more energy without doing anything extra. Again, minimal action for maximum results. And then finally, once you build that vortex up, once your life starts to become coherent waves, you got to just keep it going. You got to protect it. So don't make big switches. Don't transition into something else. Keep the energy flowing into that. Build consistency in your timing. Having a routine that you don't even have to think about, you just do it. And really reward yourself for little successes. Even if you don't see big results, you got to find a way to reward yourself. Maybe you celebrate yourself for just taking a little bit of action. That's what I did when I was starting a YouTube channel and I saw no results. I had to find a way to make myself feel good because I knew I was on the right path. And that's going to reinforce you again taking more action, rewarding yourself, and it's going to build up into something big the longer you keep things in resonance. So I don't know, this was kind of an abstract idea. We got a little sciencey. Let me know what you think. Does this make sense? Because I think the jump shot, freaking basketball. I feel like just analyzing things like that will allow us to crack the code of the universe and start to learn how to manipulate energy and manipulate reality and unlock our full power. All right. And if you're interested in more stuff, check out my series I did on rewiring the brain and shifting your identity. Check out the series I did on manipulating energy. I've been going more into making longer, more informative videos because I feel it provides more value. Hopefully it helps. And shout out to my subscribers because I hit 1,000. Woo! Thank you so much for your support. See ya.